I'm Rob, and this is Chris, and we're with Nikon. Chris, late spring, Nikon introduced two new pro cameras, a full frame and a new flagship DX camera called the D500. It's been out and it's been selling very, very well. Pretty good, right?
Oh,
excellent.
It's absolutely amazing. It's essentially a mini D5.
Ah.
So we have our Pro full frame D5. This is a mini version of it with a DX size sensor.
The D750 has been our best-selling full frame camera. How does it fit with the D750? A lot of people ask me that question.
Oh, that's probably the #1 question that we get asked. The D750 we know is probably one of the best general purpose camera on the market right now. Full frame sensor, 24 megapixels, pro autofocus system, 6.5 frames a second, tilting screen,
Right.
full 1080p HD video. So it really does everything really, really well. And this is kind of where people gravitate towards too. But now we have the D500 that's around the same price point as it. So people are going, well, do I want the DX sensor? Do I want the full frame sensor? How do they really fit together? And to be honest, people initially think of the D500 as just pure for speed. It has the best autofocus.
Why speed?
Well, a couple reasons. One, brand new autofocus system. Same as the D5, so 153 autofocus points. One of the nice things though is that because you're using the full frame autofocus module of the D5 in a smaller DX sensor, when you actually look through the viewfinder of the D5, it's edge-to-edge autofocus points. So anywhere you can see, the camera can actually focus. So brand new dedicated autofocus processor with those 153 points and the fact that it shoots 10 frames a second.
And what about the ISO speed?
Well, okay, so we kind of combine all that
Speaking
with,
all this about
yeah,
speed,
with speed. If we're not going to talk low light, native ISO range goes up to 51,200, so it can literally see in the dark.
So I love going out shooting birds, nature. I've got these two options. Which would you suggest would be the right camera for me?
Personally, if it's my choice, I'm going the D500. The autofocus capabilities alone make it the camera that I'm gonna want with me if I'm gonna shoot anything that's moving. Now, I say anything that's moving, because I don't mean that you have to be a pro to be going and using this camera. We know a lot of pros are going and picking this up as a second body, but anybody who's taking pictures of their kids playing sports, your daughter playing ringette.
How many frames a second?
10.
10 frames a second.
10 frames a second. With the new XQD card in here, you can get 200 raw shots before the camera actually stops.
Does it just take XQD?
It takes one XQD, one SD card.
Nice.
And so you don't have to go and wait to go and share those photos, take them out, put them in your computer.
What happens when I put my 300 on here? Like I got a 300 that I use on this 300-2.8. I love it, but what happens when I put it on this camera?
So you are using a DX size sensor. So you go take that 300mm, multiply by 1.5 for the crop factor, and we now have a 450mm equivalent lens.
So if I have both cameras, I actually have two lenses.
You essentially do.
That's a saver, right?
It's pretty awesome.
What's this?
All right, so this is the SB5000. This is our new flagship flash. It actually replaces the old SB910. It's smaller, it's a little bit lighter, faster recycle time. It actually has a fan built into it to actually help cool it down when you're shooting continuous bursts. But the biggest benefit of it is we now have the ability to radio control.
Is that what this dongle's all about?
That's exactly what it is. So this WR10 kit, everybody's used to having a master flash on the actual camera to go and trigger to be as a commander. This is now your commander. So you plug this in here, all of the settings to go and change your groups, to go and change your compensation values. It's actually done.
So now I don't need to use an SU800 or one of my other flashes on the hot shoot.
Bingo.
I can use that somewhere else.
Yep, you go use that somewhere else. Throw this on here, it'll go and talk up to 100 feet away. You don't need line of sight. You can go and shoot through walls, have your flashes set up behind trees, doesn't matter.
How does this work with the D750?
So the D750, you go and use this normally. So regular optical slave.
I can still use it wirelessly, right?
Oh yeah, the optical CLS still exactly the same as you're used to. So,
but the quick advantage of this over this with this is that I can go further?
Yep, up to 100 feet away and no line of sight.
So I can be behind a wall.
Absolutely.
So this is a great setup.
Huge,
for the pros.
huge, yeah.
Thank you very much. Now it all makes sense.
Good.